Hey guys, Fleming Chicken here. I know I was going to do more PSAs at Worth It videos, but I did have an interesting eBay purchase that turned out interesting overall. The whole process of it really. So if you aren't tracking, I don't know if it's just my luck with how much more aggressive I was with my eBay buys recently. Although I kind of followed the same routines and patterns that I did with my other eBay buys, but it seems like I ran into a bit more scammers, and I think it has to do with just the fact of people being unemployed and they're just trying to get as much money as they can for the stuff they have. Um, yeah, I have a return for eBay that I can totally do. eBay's given me permission to do it. The seller was being a real dick about the return because that's what makes you really think he was a scammer. And then recently, I also, while I was looking at, um, while I was getting the card squared away to send back, I noticed something in comparison to the original listing because you can go back and look at your purchases and look at original listing, and there were cards missing from the pictures he sent as part of the sale, which I thought was strange. I'm going to do one more assessment on it. I'm going to give him a chance because the cards that he didn't send would make up if they're at least in beyond lightly played condition. If he sends those, it would make up for. It's not my favorite negotiation tactic, but the cards he didn't send that he was supposed to, uh, I said I'd be willing to drop the return, which to him should be a good difference because it's $100 return. So, and they were supposed to be part of the sale anyway. So we'll see what his reply is. But without further ado, moving on to what's in front of us. So these three cards came in these top loader sleeves, which I thought was good. What was funny that I've never seen before, usually it's cardboard or something, but the person put them in between this and used these as protection sleeves to protect these, which, I mean, it'll scratch up the sleeves, plastic on plastic, but it's just funny. I get two sleeves out of it, although they are a little sticky, or top loaders. And for him, he doesn't have to sit there and cut cardboard because these are the the right size off the bat. Um, I can't tell if I want to say these for the end. I think I will. So nice binder right off the bat. Why the story is interesting compared to other eBay sales? Well, it works into correlation with what I've been saying in my past few videos. The scammers seem to be popping up more and more. Um, and eBay is good about returns, but I mean, I don't want to get on eBay's nerves with how many returns I'll have to do. Um, I was going to return this, and I'll show you why. So, start off the right off the bat, amazing page up the front. You're just like, wow, look at that. Those are some really good cards. And off the front, they are. I know I have terrible glare, but take my word for it. Off the front, great condition. Yep, these are all first edition, hollow, and on top of that, the Zapdos is a shadowless. This is actually the main reason why I bought this binder, because the Zapdos was definitely going to make up for the cost. Well, of course, when I finally got the cards, I I had to do it. So you can see up front, up front it's in great condition. There's a little itty bitty thing like nick right there, a little nick there, but you have to understand it's a Shadowless first edition hollow base set card, so it doesn't really kill the value. Um, but then I pulled it out, and Lord behold, it's not insane. It isn't insane, but there is whiting along the back of the card. At this point, I don't even know if it's worth PSA rating. Because these slightly played without being PSA rated still go for, believe it or not, between 200 and 300 bucks. That's not an exaggeration by any means. Because of how rare it is with it being Shadowless first edition and hollow. So that's kind of the scenario for almost all of these cards. And I was a little peeved because the pictures he sent were, of course, of the binder, of all the different pages, and pretty much in the pictures, all the cards look great. On the front, they do. And I figured with cards of this, caliber, being first edition and being the legendary birds, and one being shadowless, hey, there should be nothing wrong with these. And even the price he was asking, it was a good bit off, but it wasn't like it was scam wise. And I just, I negotiated with him, worked him to a price that I really was ready to do. It was a decent chunk of change. I mean, yeah, plenty of these. Some of them are beat up on the front though too. Nothing too insane. Some of them do have some damage on the front. I mean, even a first edition Cobra's Beedrill Hollow. I mean, it's some really cool cards. They're really great on the front art, so I have to let people know, try and convince them to. I got it finally non-fake English Misty's Gyarados. Same with Misty's Golduck. I don't have a fake Misty's Golduck, but my one's Japanese. I do have a fake Misty's Gyarados, which is Japanese, but now I've got the real and English version. But most of these do have some whiting on the back. A few of them do have a little bit of damage on the front. And I was like, oh, hey, well, that's kind of upsetting. So, like, this Alakazam has, of course, that ugly, terrible crease right here. And of course, that's the hollow one, too. The non-hollow one's fine. I definitely would have preferred it the other way. Just Dark Alakazam is worth a good bit of money. And the back has some whiting, too. Less whiting than the Zapdos. But, believe it or not, too, while this is here, hopefully it's in good condition. Oh, I don't think it's in perfect condition, though. Believe it or not, Ancient Mew. Oh, yeah, no, this one looks like it's in perfect condition. Ancient Mew, yes, it is awesome. Ancient Mew PSA 9 and 10 actually goes between like 100 and 250 bucks. And if it has, let's see if this one has it. If it has, yeah, I think it does. I think it's not supposed to. There's some sort of misprint version. I have to go check what the misprint version looked like, but I remember it looking very similar to this with the wording on the bottom. I think it wasn't supposed to have Nintendo on it, I believe. The misprint version, actually, and I don't mean like asking price, I mean like actual sold bid price was around $500 to $700. Like, I was really surprised. It was a PSA 10, I believe, but, this isn't a rare card. But I guess it being PSA 9 to 10 actually makes it a really good card. So I'm glad that came in really good condition. So as you can tell also while I'm talking to you, I haven't necessarily looked at every last card, fully. I just did quick looks, mainly the fronts. Like I was really sad this Dark Hypno has like a big, card comparison, big chunk of it missing on the top. So I contacted the guy and I said, hey man, what gives? Because his listing did say great condition, exclamation point. And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, dude, like, these cards are not in great condition. I'm like, yeah, I said it just like I'm telling you. I'm like, yeah, the fronts are beautiful. Most of the fronts of these cards are beautiful. Looks like they didn't really leave the binder too much. He's like, no, they didn't really leave the binder ever, man. Like, I was like, look, man, I see you don't really seem like you're trying to scam me. He was really good. He actually, express shipped it to me and everything. He was really excited about selling these. And he didn't have like a whole bunch of sales. He wasn't like a fake account where he had 0 and they just burned the account and run off. He did have some sales on the account. wasn't anything crazy. And I was like, yeah, they're not in great condition. I'm like, there's a lot of like whiting, not like huge amounts, but there's whiting on pretty much the back of every card, and some of them are damaged. I'm not really mad about this one because he's not worth anything anyways, really. Still, I mean, halls are cool, base sets, jungles, fossils, and he's like, well, hey man, I'm not a collector. I wasn't aware of what the conditioning meant. I was like, look, man, it's fine. Just if you're going to sell any more things on eBay, especially the Pokemon cards, like, take some time, learn what, like, condition means. I'm like, most of these land in the lightly played category, in my opinion. You could probably get away with saying near mint, because most of it is the back, and most of it is just a little bit of whiting. But still, it hurts the value. I told him, I was like, and it hurts the collectability. People like old cards. And like, we both had a little conversation. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm tracking that. You would think like a 20 to 30-year-old card, if it has a little bit of damage on it, it's still a good condition for it being how old it is. And he's like, yeah, no, I figured that. And I'm like, But hey, man, just please be careful. Otherwise, you're gonna make some real people mad on eBay. And he's like, no, he's like, I probably did label it a little bit wrongly. He's like, not to be, misintent. He's like, I got laid off due to COVID. He's like, I really just wanted to sell these so that way I had some money for the month. Um, I was like, oh, hey, man, I'm like, it's no big deal. I'm like, just please list things properly. And he's like, you know what? I actually do still have some cards left um, that I didn't put in the binder that weren't part of the binder sell, but you know, let me go ahead and send those your way since since I technically didn't label these correctly. And I'm like, you know what? I really appreciate that. I'm really glad, you've been an upturn for me with these purchases with eBay because I ran to just a thing of scammers the past like 3-4 sales, and it's been crazy. He's like, yeah, no, that's not me, man. I didn't mean to be like that. And I'm like, it's fine. I'm like, I believe you, 100% believe you. And I think just one of the main things is like scammers just they will purposely list things like way off. They won't send you all the cards. They will, tell you to check bricks when you say you want to return because it did not match the description at all. So yeah, I mean, he wasn't like that at all. He's going to try and send me these extra cards. I'm interested to see what they're going to be because, I mean, as you can see, his collection that he had was pretty top notch. They're like, they're all first editions. A lot of them are hollows, and the fronts are in really good condition. I could see how if someone wasn't used to selling stuff on eBay, especially the Pokemon cards, I could see how, like, you know, you would think that they're considered really good condition, and the fronts are on most of these, pretty much all of these. To me, they're a beauty to look at. I'm glad I got this guy because I just sold my PSA 10 exact card that I used for my main picture for this channel, and this one, I think if I remember correctly, easily PSA 9. I would say PSA 10, but there's a little like uplift right there. So that'll be good to resend this and get this re-rated. Believe it or not, my PSA 10 of this card sold for like super cheap. I mean, granted, I also got it for even cheaper, but it only sold for like, I want to say it was between 57 and 60 bucks, and like that may sound like a lot for one card, but PSA 10 Team Rocket like Moltres, and it's the Japanese one, sure, but it's still a PSA. Like usually they actually go, even the Japanese ones go for like 120 to 200. So PSA 10. So that was surprising to me. These cards I think are still going to turn a profit in the end. I really wish this was first edition, but Dark Dragonite is still hollow, still worth money. I think there was, or was that a different binder? Oh, that was a different binder that I have a first edition Dark Dragonite. But yeah, these are all first edition. These legendary birds up here. It's kind of funny how Zapdos is base set and the others are fossil, how that turned out for cards. But yeah, Shadowless first edition hollow Zapdos. So that's pretty cool. And then the other 3 cards that I said I'd hold off on to the end. Reason why I'm excited is because of this. So, hollow Venusaur, the scratching you're seeing is on the top loader. That's normal. That doesn't affect the value of the card. It's the card inside that, its condition that matters. I think you know where I'm going with this already. So, yeah. Would have been absolutely astonishing if these would have been first edition Shadowless. Like, that would have been crazy cool. I wouldn't have complained to the guy at all because these cards, front and back, the backs are all in still pretty good condition. These are absolutely going to be worth PSA rating. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited. Why am I excited about this? I've never technically owned an original Charizard till now. I actually have another one coming in and another eBay purchase. As I said, I'm trying to chill out my eBay purchases except for like really great deals that I get that I just can't pass up. And even the back of this one is in, like, yeah, there's a little bit there, but this should still store between like 7 and 8. That'll be really dope. I know you people are kind of wondering. I'm kind of nervous about telling you all this, believe it or not, because I don't want to ruin my little program here. Although I do want to produce more content for y'all. Um, how do I do these binders? Like, what judgment call do I make upon them? Well, so that's really simple. Um, I look at the cards and I lowball every last one, and I don't mean like lowball offer to the person. I look at, for me, what is the lowest I'll go selling these, or what is the lowest quick sale these like will be an instant turnaround. And I usually say in my mind, okay, $10 per card, or like if it's something like these are almost always, as long as it's decent condition, even between lightly played, they almost always go for 100 per card. So I view it as 100, 100, 100. That's $300 right there. So that's how I viewed that. Now, for the top three, it's technically a little incorrect. I figured that these cards would at least be in PSA 8 condition. They're a little bit less than that, but PSA 8, I know that each of these goes for real quick, 100 to 150 really quick. I did it in the mid-range. I said 150 each. This one goes way higher, PSA 8. But, lowest possibility, I said 150, 150, 150. So I said 450 right off the bat. So I've got the 450 right here. I got 300 right there. I'm at 750 already. Dark Dragonite, low end goes for $50. I don't know what first edition Hollow Vaporeon actually goes for. That'll be a PSA worth it video that I do soon, as I have a good amount of Vaporeons, especially this type. But I think this is the only first edition I have this Vaporeon. But I figured this probably goes for $50. This Clefable probably goes for 25 low end, so that's $125 right there. You add that all up, you're at $875 already. And then I kind of just, brisk through the rest. Like, $10, $10, $10, something like that, $20. Each of these, $10 for him, $50 there. And that's just how I kind of added it up. I know these go for a decent bit, as long as they're decent editions, so 25, 25, 25 low ends. And these are low ends. These are if I want to get rid of the card immediately. Same thing around this area, 10s and 20s. These go for a good bit more. This definitely goes for a good bit more. It's a first edition. Koga's Beedrill Hollow. Really hard to find, in my opinion. You got yourself a Hollow Kingdra, Missy's Gyarados, Missy's Golduck, both hollow. You got these other cards. So, that's how I shoot it real quick. I look at what they're already asking, and can I negotiate them anymore, and how fast these cards sell. Original cards sell very fast, people. Most of them do. Aerodactyl, surprisingly, though, not worth, nearly as much as you think it would be worth. There's a ton of them out there, apparently. And then I asked myself, what is the lowest I will be able to sell these cards immediately? And I, of course, try and sell them on the high end. I look at what's worth PSA rating. You gotta look at that. You gotta have some PSA cards that compare to. I would say, I haven't looked at the back of all of these, but I would say most of these are probably close to the PSA rating range. So that's pretty cool. And it was pretty cool to get these original 3 max evolutions of the starters. This is really cool. The dude seems really cool. I might give him a percentage of the sales based on how it goes, but it may not be a while until I do that for him, because I've got some things coming up, and if I gotta see which of these are worth PSA rating, I have to make some more videos. This won't be a while, but it might be a nice surprise for him later. So, yeah, this was one of my better eBay pulls, one of my better eBay buys, and I was actually just kind of happy with the interaction with the person. I felt like I met someone who's actually very genuine in what they're trying to achieve and sell through eBay. I'm probably not going to get the biggest gain. I do expect to go beyond breaking even what I paid for it. It's going to take a little while, depending on how these come out PSA wise. And it's, as I said, it's those multipliers, guys. PSA 8 Charizard, $250 to $500 if you're lucky. PSA 9 Charizard, $500 to $950. PSA 10 Charizard, $1,000 to $3,000. None of that's an over exaggeration, so I know it's not PSA 10. It should be a PSA 8. I sure hope it's not lower than PSA 8. It might get PSA 9, but I just don't know. Also, it's a really cool thing of Hitmonchan I've never seen before. More to pray, never expect getting in the ring if that's the case. But yeah, as I said, I'm probably if I do any more eBay videos, it's gonna be based on what I'm selling. Maybe PSA isn't worth it. Um, Maybe we'll talk about more market investing cards. Um, yeah, I think that's it for this video. About to hit 50 subs. When we hit 50 subs, we can do the giveaway. But understand that if the 50 subs happen while I'm gone, the giveaway don't be delayed until then. It will still happen, believe that. But it will be about a month or two from now, depending on my trip. So help me hit 50 subs this weekend, quick. And I'll get that giveaway sent out as quick as possible. I always do a video on it. My giveaways are all genuine, everybody. It's kind of undecided. We were posting what was going to be part of the giveaway, and people were kind of voting and not voting. I think they were kind of voting based off the cards that were in the original giveaway that's already occurred. I may just, choose a card for everyone and say, hey, this is the giveaway card, or maybe a whole thing of cards. But yeah, I'll drop that video if I make that decision on 50 sub giveaway. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And thanks. Bye.